Can somebody's personal site actually also be expert? Let's find out in this video. So, apart from expert sites, what other sites are there? Well, there's definitely personal sites, and they can be really interesting. The people who put the sites together can absolutely love the topic that they're writing about. But if we come across a personal site, we really need to verify whether the information on that personal site is actually accurate, or if we're looking at a personal site, sometimes we just enjoy it. So here are some examples of personal sites. So for example, here's a personal site that's been made at our school, and you can see that some children have written some story starters, and then some children from another set of schools have continued on the story. So that's just a fun, personal website. It's not trying to be expert, it's just a personal site for people to enjoy. Here's another one from our school where some Year 6 students have put together some photographs that they've taken. This is not attempting to be an expert site. It does not have an about section. It is not trying to be a factual site. It's a personal website, and the purpose of it is to entertain. So here's another personal site which was put together by a guy called Andrew, and this is where I get interested in actually verifying a little bit more information about Andrew and his expertise. So he's made up a blog about snakes because they absolutely fascinate him. When you've got an ending to the website blogspot.com, that actually gives you a clue that this is a personal blog made by someone who's really interested in a topic. Now on the home page, Andrew Durso does have an about me, which is excellent. So that's beginning to look a little bit expert because he does have an about section. He says that he's an assistant professor of wildlife biology at Florida Gulf Coast University, and he likes to study the physiology and ecology of lizards and snakes. So I'm starting to believe that Andrew has some expertise. But I'm going to have to verify that Andrew does really work at the Florida Gulf Coast University. And the reason I'm going to do this is because when I was younger, I was working on a team for an organization, and a guy came along and pretended he had a whole lot of qualifications and he wanted to get a job with this organization. And it was only when we verified his qualifications that we discovered actually that he'd just made them all up. So it's really put me off believing people without checking. I really now have to check if someone says they're an assistant professor when they're writing on a personal site. If Andrew Durso was writing on a zoo site, I would know that the people at the zoo have checked his science qualifications, but he's made a personal blog here. So I'm going to do a little bit of detective work to check who Andrew Durso is. So I went into Google and I put Andrew Durso in, and the next site that came up was a Weebly, weebly.com. Now, when a website ends in .com, that's not necessarily a web address that we can trust. We have to do a bit more verifying because .com just means that it's been put together as part of Weebly. It's a commercial enterprise. Weebly has a sort of website builders, so that's good. And but I'm still needing to check a little bit more. Yes, here he is, Dr. Andrew M. Durso. He's still saying that he works at the Florida Gulf Coast University. So I'm sorry to be so fact-checking, but I'm going to actually go to the Florida Gulf Coast University just to check that he does work there. And that's because of what happened to me when I was young. And that guy was just completely making up lies about his qualifications and his expertise. So here I am. I've gone to Florida Gulf Coast University, and I've got into their academics directory, and I've put in his surname, Durso, and sure enough, he has come up here as being an assistant professor, just as he said he is. So actually, Andrew, good on you. And now I can trust a whole lot of the information that you've got on that snake blog, because I now understand that you are an expert in snakes. So I have verified that your personal blog actually is also an expert blog.